Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is step 36 on how to build this RC Tamiya glove liner. Now this step is very easy. It's just the wiring. It's just connecting the battery to the ESC, electronic speed control, the motor to the ESC, the receiver to the ESC, and the servos to the receiver, and also installing these clips to hold down the battery. Now if you have just the electronic speed control, then this step is going to be very easy. Now if you have the MFC, it's still easy, but it's just going to take more time because there's more wires to be connected. So for me, the first thing I'm going to connect is the MFC to the receiver. On my receiver, I have all the negative pins on the right side, and the positive pins is in the middle, and the left pins, they're the signal wire. And my channels start here from the bottom, channel 1, and all the way up to channel 6. So J4 goes to channel 1. J6 to channel 2. J5 to channel 3. J7 to channel 4. Alright, so this is how it looks like right now. All these wires connected to the receiver. Make sure that all the wires, the plugs, they're level. Okay, and on the other side too, they're nice and straight. All of them are level to each other. Alright, so now I'm going to install my speaker wire, and this is J31. Okay, and just match the color, brown with brown. Okay, and this one goes right here. Okay, just like this. Now I have modified my speaker wire, and that's because I want to be able to disconnect the speaker from the main wire that is connected to the MFC. And that's because my speaker is going to go under the cap right here. Okay, I'm gonna glue it here with double-sided sticky tape. Okay, and I want to be able to disconnect the cap from the chassis. That includes the lights, all the wires from the lights. I want to be able to pretty much remove the cap and don't have any wires attached to the cap. And the original speaker, since it's bigger, I don't have that much space right here, and that's because I want to be able to show the interior of the cap. I want to be able to show it, and this speaker, pretty much if I install it here in the front, then I'm not gonna be able to pretty much show the inside of the cap. And so the only other place is here, but right here is too crowded. It's pretty much, I don't have that much space right here, so that's why I'm not using the original speaker. Now I decided to go with this one, which is thinner, and at the same time is still strong. Has the same power as that one, and I think it does have a little bit more power, this one, I think. So so that's the reason I went for this one, because of the space. Now I'm going to install J29, and this is my vibration motor cable, and this one goes right here. Okay, just like this. Now I have also modified my vibration motor, and that's because the cap is going to be opening and closing. So I do not want the vibration motor to be on when the cap is open. So what I did is I designed this switch that is going to turn on the vibration motor only when it's closed, and when I open the cap, it's going to turn it off. So let me show you how I did that. Now here's the negative wire from the vibration motor, and I cut it and I connected this connectors, and then if you follow the wire, this is the negative wire, goes through that hole, and then goes and comes out and is connected, soldered to this spring This is a regular spring from any regular pen. I drill a hole, I stick the spring inside the hole, put some Loctite, and then the spring, when makes contact with this piece of metal, sheet metal, okay, that's when it makes contact, the negative current continues through the wire, okay. And so this piece is solder. There's a wire here that is solder. Okay, so then it continues, goes inside through here, under, and then comes out through here, the negative wire, and then it goes, right here's the other connector, it goes through here, through the switch. So if the switch is like this, okay, it's off, and then if I turn the switch up, then the current continues, and then it comes out through here, the negative wire. Okay, it now see when I split the negative wire, now you see right here, here's the other end of the negative wire, the black one. So here it continues, the current goes back, it just goes around here. It's hard to see it because it's kind of tied down, but it goes right here around, and then goes and is connected to the motor. And that's how the cycle is complete, and that's how the motor is going to turn on. So that's how I designed that switch. So that way it's pretty much like a protection. So that way when the when it's up like this, open, I don't want the vibration motor to be pretty much putting a lot of pressure on the hinges. So that's pretty much to protect the hinges when it's open. And here's a regular pen that I'm gonna show you that you can get it anywhere. Pretty much a spring from these pens, and here's the spring. So this is the ones that you can use to make that work. And here's a close-up of the top of the spring. I made a hole, put the spring inside, and I added some hot glue inside the spring and also some Loctite to secure it in place. And the battery goes right here on the top, just like this. Alright, so now I'm going to install J10, and J10 is to shift my gears in the transmission, and this one is going to go to channel 5 in my receiver, and that's because I'm using the Fly Sky receiver. So this one goes right here. Now J9 is to unlock my fifth wheel using my radio control, and this one is going to go in the middle pins. There's 3 layers, the top pins, the middle pins, and the bottom pins. Now all the pins that are on the edge of the MFC, those are negative pins, and all the positive pins, they're in the middle, and then all the signal pins, they're on the right side. Now this one is going to go right here. And J8 is for my steering servo, and this one is going to go all the way to the top, right above J9. Now I'm going to connect J12, and this is for the coupler switch on the fifth wheel, the switch that is in the fifth wheel. And this one is going to go right here in this box right here, okay, the bottom one, and it goes like this. Now I'm going to connect my motor cables. Now I have extended each cable 10 inches longer. That way it could reach the MFC because the cab is going to be opening and closing. Now yellow goes with yellow. All right, just like that. And green goes with green. Okay, and I'm going to slide this protective plastic over to the other side. That way it protects the connection. And the same thing on this side. Okay, just like that. That way, if they touch each other, it doesn't make a short circuit. Now here on the bottom, I'm going to connect the other ends of the motor cable. So yellow goes with yellow. All right, and same thing, slide this plastic over to the other side to protect the connection. And the same thing on the other one, green with green. Okay, and slide the plastic over, okay, to the other side to protect, the cable. All right, now here's a close-up of how I ran these motor cables. Now the yellow cable goes down, then comes out through here, right next to the servo and the chassis, and then it goes up here all the way to the MFC. Now the green one, same thing, goes down and then comes out through here and then is run through between the two servos in the middle and then goes up to the MFC. Now right here in the middle, there's plenty of room to run 3 cables in the middle. So that's what I did and it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to connect my fifth wheel wire. Now I have extended this wire 12 inches longer and I also added these plug-ins. That way I can disconnect the wire, the fifth wheel, from the main wire in case I need to make any repairs or any adjustments. And I also made a hole through this brace right here, the chassis brace. That way the wire runs in the middle, more like the real trucks and not right here on the bottom right here. So this makes it look more like the real trucks, because on the real trucks, the wires and the hoses run through the middle right here. Okay, so this one goes right here. Okay, just like that. Now for my fifth wheel servo, I also added a 12-inch extension with servo plugs. That way it could reach the MFC. So here's the original wire from the servo. And then when it gets to right here, that's when I added the extension. Now, one of the things that helps a lot to install the wires here in the chassis is to have a office chair just like this one that has a cushion, very soft, because you can lay it down on the side like you see right here and it won't damage any of the electronics or any part of the chrome on your truck. And at the same time, you can turn it, and that helps a lot because you can work from any other side to work on your truck, and so that makes it easier, so especially to install the wires inside the chassis. Now I'm going to install my control unit, and my control unit has 3 different plugs: J30, J32, and J11. Now J11 goes right here on the bottom connector right here. Okay, and it's pretty tight, so take your time. And J32 goes here in the middle. All right, just like that. And finally, J30 goes right here. All right, just like that. Now I have organized my cables to make the job look nice and to make the job look much cleaner. Now, for example, here in my control unit, instead of having all those loose wires, I added this spiral wrapping cable to protect the wires, and also because it looks nice, just one single wire. Now here on this side of the control unit, I added some Velcro. Okay, right here, there's the pieces, an example, so you can see. And that's because the control unit is going to sit right here on top of my battery. Now I also added on some of the cables to keep it compact, some mini cable ties. Okay, here's the cable ties that I'm using. Okay, and that is to hold all the cables intact and all compact, very organized. Now I'm using these plastic clamps. Here's the package that it comes in. Okay, and these ones I'm using to hold these cables, like for example all these cables here on the top, I'm using one of them, and here on the side of the battery I'm using another one. Okay, and to hold it into place I'm using double-sided sticky tape. All right, and that's gonna make all your wires look very nice. Now I'm going to install my battery clips. These are provided in the Tamiya kit, and one goes right here. Okay, and the other one on the other side. Okay, and now the battery is secure. Now if you're running extra lights, like for example for me, I'm going to have extra lights. I have right here my electronic switch connected to channel 6 right here on my receiver. So anything else that you want to run, go ahead and connect it to channel 6 on your receiver. Now I'm using the FlySky FSI6 6-channel radio control and receiver, and this radio is already pre-programmed to work with the RC Tamiya trucks. Now I'll put the link in the description down below so you can know where to buy this radio control that is already pre-programmed. Now connect the battery, turn on the control. Now turn on your truck. Alright, now that the truck is on, now you need to do mapping, and mapping is teaching the MFC how to communicate with the radio control. Now to do mapping, press and release this button right here, this round one. And the truck is going to turn off, and the light right here is going to be blinking fast. Now on your control, on your left stick, go up all the way, back to center, down all the way, back to center, right all the way, back to center, left all the way, back to center. Now on the right stick, up all the way, back to center, down all the way, back to center, right all the way, back to center, and left all the way, back to center. Now the light, you're gonna see that is blinking slowly. Okay, now press and hold, press and release, the button again, and the truck is going to turn back on, and mapping is complete. Now after you do mapping, if your steering is not working correctly, like for example if you steer to the right, the wheel goes to the other side, then what you need to do is go into your radio control and reverse the channel for the steering. Now the same thing is for the direction on the wheels on the motor. If you go forward and the wheels they go the other way, then you need to go into your radio and reverse the channel for the throttle. Okay, and that should take care of the problem. Now I'm going to show you how I have my channel set up on my radio control. So I'm going to push OK and then press and hold OK. Now up right here, this button right here, and then it's highlighted the tool right there. Okay, now press OK. Now you'll see it says reverse. That's for the channel reverse. Okay, press OK, and here you can see all my channels on the top and all the channels that are normal. So I have 2, 3, 4, and 6 that are normal, and the channels that I have reversed is channel 1 is the steering, and channel 5 I also have it reversed because this is to shift the gears in the transmission. Okay, let me push OK again to highlight it. Okay, and those are the only 2 channels I have reversed. Now one of the things I forgot to mention is how to reverse the channel on this radio control. Now to do that, you want to pay attention to the arrow right here. Let me push OK to highlight it again, and so by pushing OK, it switches to the channels. So you select which channel you want. So for example, channel 1, if I want to change this one, I use the up button or down button to change it. So that's how you change the channels. Now after changing the channel however you want it, reverse or normal, then just leave it there, and if you need to pick another channel, then you use the OK button to navigate through the channels, and do the same thing. This use up and down to move it to whatever you want, normal or reverse. And then after you're done, push cancel Okay, and then cancel again to exit the menu. Alright, so that's it for this video. If you like this type of videos, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. That's one way to support my channel. And anything that I use right here to make this build, I'm going to write the link on the description down below so you can know where to buy them. Alright, so thank you again for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.